Welcome, folks. My bad, sorry. This is not a Alfred Hitchcock movie, and, well, now you know why I always wear these glasses, so... But anyway, it's time for another epic moment in comic books. Yes! 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 Anyway, and as you can tell by the shirt that I'm wearing, Spider-Man, it's gonna be a Spider-Man one today, and today, the epic moment occurs... Oh, epic moments, plural, occurs in Peter Parker Spider-Man number 75. Now, see, here's the tricky part. I don't know if it's Peter Parker Spider-Man or it's just Spider-Man. It's tricky. But anyway, let's just show the cover right here. This is the entire cover, by the way, folks. And anyway, why is it so epic? Well, this marks the end of the Clone Saga. With Ben Reilly, Spider, all that. It just marks the official end of the Clone Saga. And just gonna warn, if people are just starting to read the Clone Saga right now or never read it, this is going to be a lot of spoilers, folks, so you might not want to watch this video. But anyway, yep, and you can tell it says on the top, Revelations. So you just have to say it that way, Revelations. But anyway, this is the epic moment, and there's so many things that happen in this issue. So many things. For one, starters, this marks the return of the Green Goblin, folks. Norman Osborn makes his return. And for those of you who don't know, and I know plenty of people are like, oh, whoa, he's already in comics. But no, folks. Let me tell you this right now. And back in Amazing Spider-Man, way back, like in the 1970s, the Green Goblin got killed by his own glider. So, when he was killed by his own glider, he was dead, folks. He was presumed dead, and he stayed dead for years upon years. I mean, I think about 20, he was dead for, I think, about 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. Like, almost about 20 years before this came out. This marks the return of the Green Goblin. But, let me just show how epic that is, folks. Let's just see right here. Oh, where is it? Come on. Right there. This is, bam! Right there. And not only that too, but there's also another page that shows that it's just not some weird guy. This is Norman Osborn right there. There's the scar that he had from the glider. He makes his return in this one, folks. And not only that too, but it's called Revelations for a reason. It turns out this entire Clone Saga, we find out in this book, the entire Clone Saga, the Jackal, things that happened with the Jackal, that when he was making all these clones, Ben Reilly, Peter Parker being a clone, not the clone, everything. Peter Parker's life being manipulated. It was all masterminded and planned by Norman Osborn. He planned the entire thing. We find that out in this issue, which is like, not only does he make a return, but we find it out that in this issue, oh my gosh, he would mastermind the entire Clone Saga. It was him. He was behind it all. Oh my god, it's awesome, folks. Just awesome. I mean, that was epic. Those two things are epic in itself. I mean, in addition, in fact, where is that page? Your worst nightmares. They're still right there when you rip that off and you find out that that really is Norman Osborn legitimately. Folks, that is just insane. In addition to this, where did they say it at? And then all that, but you tell us how he survived, folks. Apparently, he has a healing factor, not as good as Wolverine, like the poor man's Wolverine's healing factor. And if it tells you in this big splash page right here, it tells you right here that he survived. He grew up in the morgue. He woke up in the morgue, and his body was repairing himself. He has a sort of healing factor. And on this page, he's telling everything that he manipulated Peter Parker's life so much. In addition to that, too, we also get an epic battle between the Green Goblin and everything else. The Green Goblin and, like, Spider-Man. I mean, just in this page, look at him. Bam, bam, kicking the living daylights out of Spider-Man. I mean, we just get this epic battle. In addition to that, not only what happens, but we find out who is the clone. Who really is a clone? Peter Parker or Ben Reilly? And if you were reading this Clone Saga, you figure out that you wouldn't know what was what. And it turns out that Norman Osborn, Where is it at? Come on. Oh, come on, comic book B. You make me look like a noob. Nope, that's not it. Anyway, right here, we find out in this thing when he said that Peter Parker is the real thing and that Ben Reilly's the clone. In fact, he even clones Ben Reilly right there. But anyway, you could pretty much take that with a grain of salt, but here's what proves it, folks. Here's what proves it right here. You see this body right there? You see this body right there? That's Ben Reilly's body turning to dust. And you know why it turns to dust? Ben Reilly dies in this issue as well. The original Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly, dies in this issue. So you get the return of the Green Goblin. You find out that he was behind the whole clone saga. You find out who the real clone is, who's the clone and who's the real Peter Parker. Ben Reilly, the clone, dies. And it's right there. And let me just show that page, too, where he died. Where is it? Right here, folks. Look the glider. And it's irony, too, folks. You see the glider? It's right here on the glider, like right around there. That glider is guiding for Peter Parker. And Ben Reilly, right there, he takes the bullet, takes the legitimate bullet for Peter Parker. He takes the glider right in the back, and it impales him, folks. This glider from the Green Goblin impales the Green Goblin. Let me rephrase that. The glider from the Green Goblin impales Ben Reilly, folks. It impales him. Oh my God, it's so awesome. It impales him, and he takes the bullet. It is ironic, too, that the Green Goblin gets impaled, and that Ben Reilly, the clone, dies in a similar fashion. And, yeah, and anyway, that causes him to die. And because of that, you see his body right here. He kind of had like a little thing, a little heart-to-heart, and he's like, Ben Reilly's like, please tell my niece about her Uncle Ben. And his body turns to dust. And that's when you find out who the real clone is. Because a normal body does not turn into dust, folks. Normal bodies, when they die, they decay, but they don't turn to dust like that. Not instantly. So you find out who the clone is. In addition to that, Peter Parker gets so PO'd. He gets so PO'd by this that he gets a bag full of the pumpkin bombs and he just hurls it at the Green Goblin. And look at this. The Green Goblin just laughs, and it's just so awesome. That his final words, quotation marks, he said, Peter Parker, you have no idea what I've taken from you. None. It's chilling, folks. And in addition to this, Mary Jane Watson was pregnant at this point. And guess what happens? The baby is gone. The baby is dead, folks. Norman Osborn, he does it off panel, but he kills Peter Parker's baby. The baby is gone. It's gone. Unbelievable, folks. And in Norman Osborn dies, he feels that Peter Parker killed Harry Osborn, his son, back in Spectacular Spider-Man number 200. So he gets even by taking Peter Parker's daughter. And all this happens in Peter Parker's Spider-Man number 75, folks. So let's recap why it's so epic. 1, the return of the Green Goblin after years and years, after about 20 years of being dead, the Green Goblin makes his return. Norman Osborn. And it's not an imposter right there. He proved that that's really him. That scar proves it, folks. And not only that, he also dresses back as the Green Goblin as well. Where is that page that's just right there? Full Green Goblin garb. Amazing artwork, folks. So that's 1. 2. Revelations. We find out that the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, masterminded everything. The clones, the mind, the mind twisting. And we find out he was behind everything in this issue. That's 2. 3. Ben Reilly, the clone, dies. He jumps in front of the glider and he dies, folks. He takes the bullets, so to speak, for Peter Parker. And let's show that thing again. Let us show it. It was such an epic panel, folks. Let's show that again. Bam! Right there. He takes the glider right to the back. Ben Reilly died. That's 3. 4. We find out for sure who the clone is and who's not. When Ben Reilly's body turns to dust after he dies, which is right in this panel here. Right there, folks. 4. And then 5, we also learn that Norman Osborn ended up killing Peter Parker's baby. Oh, he did it off panel. He didn't do it in the book. He did it off panel, but she's gone, folks. His baby is gone. And to not last but not least, we get an epic battle, an epic just back and forth emotional battle between the Green Goblin and Spider-Man. You know what, folks, this entire issue, everything, the whole Clone Saga is building, and it just builds to this point, and this is a perfect ending to that Clone Saga, folks. Epic issues. So let's recap. Norman Osborn comes back after 20 years of being dead. He kills Peter Parker's baby. It takes it away, kills it, she's gone. Anyway, the baby's gone. He does it off panel. 2. 3. He's behind everything, behind the entire Clone Saga. He was behind it. 4. This guy, Ben Reilly. He's a clone and he dies. That's 4 and 5. And 6, we get an epic battle. And additionally, too, why is this thing so important as well? Well, it brought back Norman Osborn from the dead. And, well, I mean, if you look at it long term as well, why this is so important, well, think about it. Without Norman Osborn, who blows the head off of the Skrull Queen in Secret Invasions? Who? Who blows the head off? Who initiates the Dark Reign? Who tries to lay siege on Asgard? Who leads the siege on Asgard with his group of, like, villainous, the Dark Avengers? Who does that? Norman Osborn is the one who led it. Norman Osborn was the one who shot the Skrull Queen's head off. Norman Osborn was the one who became a threat to everybody in the Marvel Universe. He's the one who became a legitimate villain to everybody. Without this issue, and then them bringing back Norman Osborn, those probably never happened, folks. That's why it's another reason why it's so epic. It's long term. It leads to other epic things as well. So, folks, there you have it. Right there, Peter Parker, Spider-Man number 75. And folks, this is by no means, it should by not any means be expensive, folks. So, you know, normally, you know, you're probably going to see some of the more obvious epic moments on here, but I kind of wanted to go with some of the few videos, go with some of the ones that are a little more hidden, that are easier to find, and they're not going to, you know, put a dent in your wallet, that are easy to find, folks. And this is Peter Parker number 75. Great issue. Epic stuff in this. And they just show the entire cover right here. And I just want to show, you know, I just would love to show, the artwork's amazing, and I just want to show the final panel of Ben Reilly taking the bullet for Peter Parker. I mean, it was just epic stuff, folks. Epic. Epic. Right there. Bam. And he also comes crashing down into a cab, too, by the way. Right there, folks. So, again, epic moment in comic history, or comic books. Peter Parker, number 75. The end of the Clone Saga. Folks, pick this up. It is great. Anyway, I'll see you soon. And I'm pushing out. And bye-bye, folks.